The Corsican Comet, Napoleon Bonaparte's epic life. In the sun-scorched hills of Corsica, 1769, a boy was born into chaos. Napoleone Bonaparte, second son of a minor noble family, entered the world just months after France seized the island from Genoa. His father, a lawyer with revolutionary sympathies, named him after an uncle who died fighting for Corsican independence. From the cradle, young Napoleon breathed rebellion. The boy who devoured books and battles at 9, he left the rocky shores for mainland France, a scholarship student at the military academy in Brienne. Small, olive-skinned, with a thick Italian accent, he was mocked as the little Corsican. But while others played, Napoleon read Plutarch's Heroes, Caesar's Campaigns, Voltaire's Fire. He graduated artillery school at 16, a second lieutenant with a mind already mapping empires. Revolution, the ladder of blood Paris erupted. The Bastille fell. Kings trembled. Napoleon, now 20, returned to Corsica dreaming of liberty for his homeland. But when his mentor Paoli turned against France, Napoleon chose the revolution and exile. Back in France, 1793, he faced his first crucible, the siege of Toulon. Royalists held the port with British ships. Napoleon, a 24-year-old captain, proposed a mad plan: seize the heights, rain cannon fire on the fleet. It worked. Toulon fell. He was promoted to brigadier general overnight. The whirlwind of Paris royalists rose to crush the Directory. Napoleon, now in the capital, was given 5,000 men and 40 cannon. In one icy October night, later called the Whiff of Grapeshot, he blasted the mob into silence. Paris was saved. The Directory rewarded him with command of the Army of Italy. Italy, the birth of a legend. The Army of Italy was ragged, unpaid, starving. Napoleon, 26, arrived like a thunderbolt. "Soldiers," he roared atop the Alps, "you are naked, hungry. I will lead you into the most fertile plains in the world. Rich provinces, great cities will be in your power." They believed. In 18 months he crushed 5 Austrian armies, forced peace and redrew the map of Europe. Milan, Venice, the Pope's lands, all knelt. He sent wagon-loads of art and gold back to Paris. France cheered. Napoleon was now the conqueror of Italy. Egypt, dreams of Alexander obsessed with striking Britain indirectly. Napoleon sailed for Egypt with 40,000 men and 167 scholars. He wanted to cut the route to India, unlock the secrets of the pyramids and walk in Alexander's footsteps. He won at the Battle of the Pyramids. Soldiers 40 centuries looked down upon you, but Admiral Nelson annihilated his fleet at the Nile. Stranded, Napoleon still conquered Cairo, published the Description de l'Égypte, and discovered the Rosetta Stone. Then news from France. The Directory was collapsing. He abandoned his army and raced home. 18 Brumaire. The coup that crowned a King Paris was chaos. Napoleon, now the most famous man in Europe, staged a coup. With his brother Lucien presiding over the council, soldiers cleared the halls. Napoleon stammered, "If I am a traitor, shoot me." They didn't. The consulate was born. Napoleon, first consul at 30, now ruled France. Emperor of the French in Notre-Dame, beneath a crown he snatched from the Pope's hands, Napoleon crowned himself emperor. "I found the crown of France in the gutter," he said, "and I picked it up with my sword." The Code Napoleon he didn't just fight, he built. The Napoleonic Code swept away feudal laws, equality before the law, property rights, secular marriage. It still shapes legal systems in 40 countries. He built roads, canals, the Bank of France. Paris gleamed with neoclassical glory. Austerlitz, the son of victory, Austria, Russia and Britain united against him. Napoleon lured them to Moravia. On a foggy December dawn, he let them climb the Pratzen Heights, then struck. The Allied center shattered. Thousands drowned in frozen lakes. Austerlitz, his masterpiece, broke 2 empires in a day. Europe called him invincible. The continental system and the Spanish ulcer to crush Britain, he banned trade across Europe. It backfired. In Spain, 1808, guerrillas bled his armies dry. "I made a mistake," he later admitted. The Peninsular War became his Vietnam.Russia. The road to ice and ashes obsessed with forcing Russia to obey, Napoleon marched with 600,000 men, the largest army in history. Moscow burned, but the Russians refused battle. Winter came. On the retreat, frost, Cossacks and starvation devoured the Grande Armée. Only 50,000 returned. The 100 days, the eagle flies again. Exiled to Elba, Napoleon escaped. In March 1815, he landed in France. Soldiers sent to arrest him joined him. Paris roared. For 100 days, he ruled again, promising liberty, preparing for war. At Waterloo, June 18, 1815, rain-soaked fields turned to mud. Blucher's Prussians arrived. Wellington held. Napoleon's last charge failed. If only Grouchy had come. St. Helena, the fallen Titan exiled to a wind-swept rock in the Atlantic, Napoleon dictated memoirs played with children and died in 1821, officially of stomach cancer, though whispers of poison linger. His last words, France, the army. Josephine. Legacy: he lost everything, but won eternity. 70 battles, only 8 defeats. Redrew Europe's borders. Spread the ideas of 1789 with bayonets. His nephew became Napoleon III. His myth inspired revolutionaries, poets, and dictators for centuries. From clerk to emperor, a whole dynasty in one man. Victor Hugo Napoleon. Bonaparte, the Corsican Comet who blazed across the sky, burned half the world, and still lights the imagination of history. Subscribe for more epic lives that change the world.